In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests. Don't be flattered. But it's Alexandra Daddario. Yay!
Yay!
Excuse me because I'm sweating profusely because we've been running around finishing the studio. But doesn't it look kind of nice?
It looks really great.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, very professional.
Yeah, very profesh. Very
Yes.
profesh is what we say in the business. You asked to drink today. I said I wasn't going to, but since you're a violent alcoholic.
You sort of offered.
I did. I definitely
Yeah, I did. When I looked up your podcast, I was like, oh my God, is this my excuse to drink whiskey
in the middle of the day?
At noon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is Michner's.
Great.
Cheers. It's delicious and it's
Okay.
good for you.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna go over the mic?
Like this?
There you go. Mmm.
Great.
Is that good?
So good.
I like how you approved it with the camera. Great. First of all, I want to talk about a lot of stuff with you.
Okay.
How we know each other, all sorts of jazz. Look at your cool shoes, though.
I'm wearing very cool shoes.
Show the cam so they can see what those
They
are.
have superheroes on them.
Yeah, those are tight. They're
Yeah.
are they Marvel shoes? I can't really
yes,
tell.
it's Marvel's.
Official Vans Marvels.
It's Marvel's. They teamed up with Vans.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously. And
Yes.
I don't know if they're still selling them, but they're super cool.
Let's just pretend like they're super exclusive.
Yeah, they made them just for me.
Just for Alex, just for Hollywood people. So all you normal people don't get them. No, they probably have super access to them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think anyone with, $100 has access to these shoes.
Not a lot of people have $100 these days.
That's true. That's
So-
true. I am, yes. I
am
am lucky.
You 1%er.
Oh, God. Snowflake.
Snowflakes. So we know each other. Let's give people some background to a lot of different stuff. First of all, you're an extremely accomplished actress, a talented human
Sure.
being. You don't think so?
Look, I'm pretty proud of myself.
I would be if
Yeah.
I was you. Let me put myself
Yes.
in your shoes real fast.
Okay.
Can I have your shoes?
Yeah, sure.
Let me put myself
Okay.
in your shoes. You've done how many films have you done? 50?
No, 50.
50.
I don't think 50. I've done a lot. I couldn't actually count it up. I'm at that point where I've done so many, I don't know how many I've done.
So you've done a lot.
But not 50.
No. But like how many next year? 2, 3? I say 3 a year for you, right?
Lately, I've been working. I mean, the thing that happened was that, as an actor, and I've been acting since I was a little kid.
How old? When did you start acting?
Like 10, I would go on like
Cute.
commercial audition. I was very cute.
What
And-
happened?
Yeah,
Lost it all.
I'll tell you.
Drugs and alcohol.
I was not cute for a portion of time, my awkward teenage
Yeah.
years. And then I came out on the other side okay. But it's been a long road of not working and struggling and being like, is this even a career? Like, what is,
Right.
what am I doing? You almost feel embarrassed to call yourself an actor because you're bartending or you're doing something else and people give you weird looks and sort of judge you, and then all of a sudden you're like, years go by and you work and work and work, and then all of a sudden the last like 2-3 years I've been busy.
You're
I'm a working actress.
Yeah, you're proud to say it now.
It's very, very cool.
But people don't know you are still bartending at the Palm just for fun.
That's right.
That's just like a side
I don't
gig
even
for
know
you.
if I could get that job.
No.
Getting a bartending job in this town
It's impossible.
is impossible.
It's easier to get on a series. It's
That's
easier to get a
right.
reoccurring role on something.
That's right. It's
than
easier
get
to book a studio movie than to get a bartending job in this town.
So, when you were 10, did your parents force you into it, or were you like, I want to do it?
No, not at all. It was like totally accidental. I mean, I grew up in New York City, and like I think my manager, who was my long-term manager when I was a kid, saw me in the audience at some play. I don't know why I was, one of these, my parents just like would bring me to all kinds of stuff and give me all kinds of opportunities.
You were cultured.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you grow up
That's
in the
right.
city of New York?
Yeah, I grew up on the Upper East Side. My parents are lawyers.
Dope.
And so they were like, we want to give our kids all these different opportunities.
Yeah.
So one of the things they sent me to was acting lessons because this manager thought I was cute, wanted to send me out to, commercial auditions.
That's always so weird, by the way. When like a grown man is like, your daughter's cute.
It was a woman.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Yeah. So
but
it
it's-
wasn't as weird.
Yeah, but that's a thing in Hollywood all the time. where
Oh,
they're-
totally.
Where like these managers are like, where I was out at a restaurant and some dude walked by to the couple next to us and they had a little daughter.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, ugh, I'm a talent agent and a model scout and your daughter's so cute. And it like made me nauseous as fuck. I was
Yeah,
like, this is
that's-
so gross.
That's weird.
Well, but here's what's really sad. He was kind of attractive. So I kind of gave him a little bit of a pass because we do that. Like if he
Right.
was ugly and weird,
Right.
then you're like, fucking let's kill him.
Right.
But for some reason, he was like kind of handsome and I was like, maybe he's legit. I know that sounds so gross, but
no, I mean it's like, is he being legit? Or I mean, you should sort of have like a female counterpart to go do those.
nowadays,
Yeah, nowadays
You
gotta-
have to.
Yeah, you can't go over and be like, your 10-year-old daughter is just gorgeous.
beautiful. Oh my God. Can I take a picture of her right now?
Right.
That's so gross.
I'm gonna need to take a series of photos to send to my agency for approval.
Yeah. Why are you posting them online? That's the agency. So when you were 10, you started acting. You were very cultured. But your parents are both lawyers. Did they meet in litigation? That's in my
They
brain.
met in law school at Georgetown.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so I mean, the end of this boring story is basically that's how I took acting lessons and I was sent out and I auditioned until I booked work.
What year did you move to LA?
2009.
Here for good?
Here for good. Yeah, I moved in 2009 and you know, now it's
Do you miss New York?
10 years. I do, yes. I just came from there.
Yeah.
We were trying to do this earlier and I just didn't come back from New York.
You never came back.
I never came back.
You just stayed.
That's right.
What is it that kept you in New York? Were you filming something?
I was filming something in New York, and then once we wrapped, I just like could not bring myself to come back to Los Angeles.
Because you love New York so much.
I loved New York. I was like, just one of the great things about my job is that I work about half the year, and then the other half I don't have to work, which is crazy.
That's so nice. People at home are so angry to hear that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm very, very lucky. So I can just be like, I'm going to hang out in New York and just run
Kick it.
around and kick it
That's
for
dope.
2-3 extra months. And that was, you know, cool. And then I was ready to come back to LA.
What was the film what were you shooting in New York? Can you
I
say?
was shooting, it was a film called Can You Keep a Secret, based on a Sophie Kinsella novel. It's a romantic comedy with Tyler Hoechlin, who's a very handsome man from Teen Wolf and Everybody Wants Some, and Laverne Cox and a bunch of other great.
Can you keep a secret?
I can.
Should I tell you some stuff off air and see if you can keep it?
Sure.
Okay.
It'll get back to you in like 2 days.
Yeah, I'm like, Alex, what the fuck?
I mean, I can keep a secret, but I will make the end judgment whether it's something that I really think I shouldn't tell or not.
Are you a judgy
Isn't that
person?
how we all do that?
Yeah. But are
We're
you
like,
a judgy person when someone tells you a secret?
No, I don't think I'm judgmental.
You just are. You're deciding whether or not it's worth it to talk
I'm like,
about.
you know what? You think that secret's not worth me telling other people, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I'm going to go ahead and tell other people. Isn't that how everybody does that?
Well,
like
no,
everybody
here-
tells everybody, like they're like, I can tell this one person this
Yeah.
secret. I trust this one person. When they said don't tell anyone, they didn't mean for me to not tell my, you know,
When they
best
say
friend.
don't tell anybody, that means tell someone. When
Right.
they say please don't tell anybody, that means tell everyone you know.
Right.
And when they say I swear to God, this is just like only you can know this, that means fucking call a press outlet and tell everybody on there. The more intense they are about not talking about it, that just means to me that they're like tell everyone. Like somebody
Right.
just told me something in a bar a couple of nights ago, a friend about a friend of a friend that we both mutually know, and I'm not going to leak names because it's not my shit, but a secret about someone from back home's pregnant from so-and-so and so-and-so.
Right.
But all they were doing was telling me because they wanted me to somehow get it back to the friend that we both mutually know.
Oh, sure. It was
I
very
was like, this
strategic.
is such a fucking strategy. Yeah, it was a chess move.
Yeah.
And I haven't until now. So no. I let it loose. But look,
Just tell me and I'll tell everyone.
I will. You seem to be like you're going to keep it a secret, so I'll tell you. I've murdered 15 people in California alone.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That's exciting.
Yeah, just with my angst. You know what I mean? I make
Right.
I'm nervous. And
Wow.
my anxiety
it's like a
killed.
superpower.
Yeah, I'm just like people just die right away. So we met. This is kind of wild. We met because we were going to do a movie together. It never ended up working out. We wrote this movie. We sat down. You kind of wanted to do it. Lil Rel Howie kind of wanted to do it. And we couldn't get it off the ground. I couldn't believe it because I liked it so much. And I really wanted you in it because I thought you'd be perfect on it. But this blossomed from it. So I guess Good things come from.
Good things do. Yeah, I mean, that script was very funny. And can we talk about who was? No, we shouldn't talk about details of.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really hide anything from the viewers. I really don't give a shit. I mean, unless it's, I'm not trying to slander anybody.
Basically, it was just very funny.
Yeah, it was a funny script. It was good. It was a great. I like to say it was a desert. It was a desert-based fantasy comedy about best friends who employ you.
Yes.
And your superhero father, your super larger than life action star hero father, to save the day, so to speak.
Right.
I wanted you to be this hero, you know? I wanted you to be a hero. In this
I watched some of his action movies.
Pretty incredible.
For the first time after meeting you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, right?
Oh, it's so incredible.
We can say who it was.
People can guess. I feel like it'll be the mystery of the podcast.
This will be good. Yeah, who is it?
Who is it?
Yeah, it's
Everyone
I'm not going to say who it is, but right, yeah, we wrote it.
All I can say is that he never gets injured.
No, yeah.
There's no competition.
No.
There's none.
No.
That was something I was like, is he going to even...
It's like Bruce Lee, how Bruce Lee kind of never got... Well, no, Bruce Lee did get fucked up, actually, now that I think about it. But it just... His films,
like
he's very evasive.
That's right.
Yeah, he's very evasive.
Extremely, yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit of shit. How about that?
Okay.
What film have you done that you really didn't like? Whether it was the film itself or the process or something else.
You know what I've enjoyed? I mean, I've had some bad experiences on films, but I find that you always sort of find something. Oh God, I don't even know how to answer this question not politically correctly.
I know.
Like, look, I wish I could be honest.
I know nobody can anymore.
But I can't. Like actors, like we're not allowed to like say.
See, but isn't this so? This is like a good point I want to talk about. This is the reason that like comics now are opening up so much and talking shit about the truth. Really, kind of how like. You know, kind of how the Me Too movement was birthed that people were like keeping secrets for so long.
Yeah.
But it was secrets that they shouldn't have kept, right? Kind of like when someone's a piece of shit on set, or someone's an asshole, or someone's a torrential dick to work with. Now more than ever, it will slowly continue. But like, people should be like, yo, you know what project sucked? Because this guy's a fucking asshole, and no one wants to talk about it.
Right.
But because of
People
our
are
business, you
scared.
blanket. Yeah, it's fucked up.
And even, I mean, it's just like you're not. I mean, and the whole, you know, the Me Too thing is, you know, I get that feeling of like, I can't piss this person in a position of power off. They may have hit on me and made me uncomfortable on set, but that's not a crime. They didn't do anything.
Well, that isn't a crime, but it depends on what level you take things to, right? Like,
right. Like, at what point can you actually be like, this person's a dick? But like, is there really a point in you know, depending on what level it's at.
Sure,
it's like,
sure.
You just sort of, it's a job, and sometimes people aren't going to get along, and people are dicks, and you just have to sort of, there is sort of like, you don't want to, it's hard to deal with the repercussions of speaking up.
I mean, totally. I mean, that's why I say like comics, people are like, oh, aren't you afraid what you say? I'm like, this is the best for me, because now I'm able to say it, and if they have anything to say about it, it's like, I'm a comedian. Our whole job is to mock things, talk shit about sensitive issues.
Right.
And people can get mad about it, but the point is somebody needs to be talking about it, and I feel like we're like the last orators that are allowed to kind of talk about shit.
Right.
Because musicians, actors, any live performer, they're protecting themselves because they're protecting their brand, but our brand is somewhat honesty. I mean,
so do you
to a
feel
degree.
like you have not been able to you censor yourself more than you would have last year?
I used to censor myself a bunch,
Yeah.
but like slowly but surely I've censored myself less and less and less, because I'm becoming more confident and more, you know, I don't know, my career is going better, so I feel like in the sense of it's going better because I don't give a fuck as much about what somebody's going to say about me, because I'm just telling my truth. That's my angle from it.
Right.
And if they don't like it, okay, you don't have to work with me. But there's a bunch of other people that will work with me because they probably do like it. You know what I mean? There's this old coin of like, you know, if nobody hates you, there's something wrong as a comic. Like if nobody hates you, if everyone's like, he's the best, it's like, that's a little weird.
Right.
Everybody likes you.
Right.
So to have like a little bit of hate or backlash, or I don't agree with what he says and I don't like that he says that stuff, that's kind of a positive thing, because it's like, yeah, good, we should be that way. Like, I don't want to get too political, but my biggest beef with politics is like, if you're so far left or so far right, I don't like either of you.
Right.
That's my personal opinion. I think super leftists and super righties are obnoxious assholes because they're so staunch in their opinion. It's like, we should all be somewhere in the middle.
Right.
Like, we should all be a little bit more of a mixed bag, less than this whole I stand by this regardless. It's like that's an insane idea. You wouldn't do
Right.
that for anything else in your life.
No, of course not.
So I think that's that has transferred to a part of our business that's, it causes a lot of problems, but it also is opening up more doors of truth, I guess. Maybe,
Right.
Yep. Now that we're done being very serious, let's talk about let's talk about Hitler. No, let's talk about something real serious. No, you did a movie that I went to see in the theater called San Andreas.
Sure.
You're gonna do it again.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dwayne's schedule's so busy.
Dwayne is The Rock. People don't know that that's
I'm
his real-
sorry, The Rock.
For the layman, they don't know. No, of course.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So yeah, I mean, I know that that's on line and everything that we're doing San Andreas too, but I have not heard officially one way or the
Sure.
other.
That's how it always works.
I mean, you never know. I mean, you can be attached to films and then it just never happen. So
that's so weird to me, right? That
It
somebody said
is.
that you are, but you're really not.
yeah, I mean, I am, but it's like, is the film gonna actually get made? You don't know.
Is he too busy? Yeah, probably. Too busy is probably what you should have said.
I mean, I think people can tell how I can tell that he's very busy.
Yeah, it's almost like, was he a nice guy to you?
He's extremely nice.
You're gonna say yes no matter what.
No, but I would. I mean, I hate to. My least favorite thing is to go on a press junket and just be like, "Oh my god,
I know. See, that's the hardest thing.
everyone is so great.
I love everything.
When you just want to, like, you just want to sit around and tell that. I hate bullshitting. But no, I'm not bullshitting. He's
cool.
He's exact. I don't think he'd be able to be where he is if he wasn't incredibly cool.
Did you get swole with him? Did you get jacked with him?
I got swole.
You got jacked. Did you work out with The Rock? Did you ever work out with him?
I didn't work out with him.
That'd be so fun to work out with him. Put
I
chains
worked out
around your
on a
neck.
beach near him.
Okay.
I mean, on Baywatch, we were just constantly working out.
Yeah. That seemed like
Constantly.
everybody was. Did you eat food on the show?
I
on the
ate a
movie?
lot of food. You know what happened was I was in the incredible shape. I've never looked better in my life. I did all these photo shoots. So now that's going to be around forever, which is
Right.
great. So I don't have to
So
get
now
into
you
that
can
kind
just
of
get
shape again.
super
Exactly.
fat.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I got into incredible shape, and like a week into shooting, I was just like, it'll last. And like a week into shooting, I just gave up. I was drinking, eating cheeseburgers.
Living like a human being.
That's right. It's because it was just too much for me to keep up.
Well, that's kind of like how I feel. Like I work out almost every day, but it's only so I can eat and drink and do what I want.
Right.
Like I don't ever want to have that Hollywood restriction that's like, I have friends that go to lunch with me and I'm like, I'm not saying get like a grease pit of shit to eat for lunch, but like you don't always have to have a salad. Like you can also get a sandwich sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on, look, I'm pretty lucky in that
You've
I
always
can
been
eat.
thin.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah.
been. I mean, I have been in bad shape, but
Oh, we know, we've seen.
I mean, obviously not.
No.
But like, I think Baywatch, you get obsessed, and you're just like,
And everybody around you is obsessed.
and the more obsessed everyone else is, the more you become obsessed, and then you get sick of yourself. You get sick of everyone else
Yeah.
being obsessed, and
like Efron
Just
was
like,
so
fuck it.
cut up. He looked like a mannequin. It looked fake. He was so cut up.
I mean,
It's
I've
like he
never
didn't drink
seen,
water for like a month and a half.
I've never seen a human being look like that.
No, neither
mean,
have
it's
I.
just not. It's not.
It's not human?
He is that diligent.
Yeah.
Of a.
Yeah.
Like when he gets focused on something, he's
He's all in.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool cat. I've run into him a few times. He's a really nice guy, and he's a very focused human being.
Extremely.
That's a good
yes.
word, focused.
Yes.
And a nice guy, but also
Yes.
very focused.
Yes.
Yeah. He is just like all in, where you're like, yeah, that's incredible. I don't know how you could, like I've tried to get abs my whole life, and I can only get the V.
The
I can get
lines.
the V. Yeah, that's like the sex trough. I don't know what you want to call that. That's like the whatever that is. That's like
Yeah.
like a dustpan for like the fuck dustpan. But I can't get abs. I think it's just my Irish body doesn't do that. I don't think I'm allowed to have abs. Nobody in Ireland ever had fucking abs.
I'll tell you, women, we don't really care about abs.
Women do care about it. Don't you say
No,
that?
I think that is a male myth.
Okay, so if a guy takes off his shirt and he has a flat stomach with no abs, you are just as attracted to that as a guy who had Zach's body?
Yeah, I was talking about this with a girlfriend of mine the other night. Like, I think women, we don't really care. We want to like get along with someone and like.
I know, but the physical connection has to be there too.
Yeah, but you can have a physical connection with people
a bad body.
Yeah.
Have you ever dated someone with a bad body?
Yeah.
Name them.
No.
I'm kidding. Mike Lowfield of.
But not a bad body. It's not a bad body. I mean, It's not bad. It's just not like this conventional.
It's a normal guy's body.
Yeah, like I don't think that like I think that that's way. I mean, maybe there are. I guess for me personally, and my friend who I was talking to about it the other day, like we don't care one way or the other.
Right. Well, women are way less shallow when it comes to looks.
Yeah. Well, I certainly
men are the most
think
shallow people on earth with looks.
Men are probably way into the flat stomach and
well,
the whole thing.
But as you get older, I think as a male, like as I've gotten older, you find certain schlubby things attractive. It's hard to describe, but like sometimes schlubbiness is hot. Like
right.
Sometimes
like someone not trying so hard.
Yeah, it's kind of hot. Like sometimes there's something really well, especially because we are inundated in LA with like hot bodies. So like sometimes when I see like someone that's like not trying, but also like they're shapely, you know, it's kind of sexy.
Yeah,
I know it is very sexy. What am I saying? It's very sexy. It's sexy because it's like. It's different.
Great.
And it's honest and it's a little bit like fuck it, you know.
Right.
Not like fuck it like, you know, I have diabetes, fuck it. Like, you know, I'm just you know, living my life and like, yeah, this sucks, but I like beer sometimes and like that kind of thing is sexy. I think as you get older as a guy, when you're a young dude, you're like,
yeah,
fucking hot chicks, dude, fucking fake. I think dudes love that shit. And then you kind of grow a little bit out of that phase.
Well, that's good to hear as I get older. As I enter my mid-30s.
You're going to be fine. I don't think you're going to enter that world of like...
I mean...
Although I would love to look back in 20 years and that you've ballooned up. You know what I mean? That you've gotten so fat and you're like, Santino told me, guys are still going to love me now that I've given up. I mean, I can't feel my feet and I have, you know, psoriasis.
Look, I mean, I'm into being healthy.
Yeah.
But I think like... You know, it almost feels like like I've gone through this like hot portion of my career.
You think it's over?
Well, no, it's just like I feel like I was always like a nerdy kid and guys didn't want to date me, which everyone rolls their eyes at. They're like, oh, that's annoying.
Well, here, let me cut you off real fast though. To explain the nerdy thing, because people always say, oftentimes guys roll their eyes because a girl goes, I was a nerd. It's like, but what made you a nerd? Because when someone goes, I was a nerd, I like to read. It's like, yeah, I hope so. Most people like to.
Oh God,
what made you a nerd? You think?
I just was. I don't know. I mean, I'm still like just awkward and like.
Like I think you're a fucking huge nerd.
Okay.
I think you're a dork.
Great.
I
mean, the people who know me well, they're like a little. Basically, I mean, I don't know what really. I just wasn't cool. I wasn't
Were
like
you an
hot.
outcast as a kid?
I wasn't an outcast. I just like had like not like I was like in the like dork crowd, like cool kid. Like guys didn't want to date. Like I was just nerdy. Like
what was your nerdiest thing?
Like we had uniforms at my school, and like all the cool kids would roll their skirts up or have their mom like
Not
my
you.
skirt was like the one down below my knees, and I was wearing an ill-fitting shirt and my braces and like goofing around, telling dumb jokes and being too loud and like
maybe you were cute, but you were just a cute dorky kid.
Yeah, I mean, I sure I was cute, but
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see.
I'm sure I was like pretty adorable, except when I was being super annoying. But I think I so I never had guys, and then I you know I got started doing movies, and then I you know I was sort of a struggling actress even after I did this big movie Percy Jackson, and then I booked True Detective, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, she's the sexiest woman on earth, and I was like,
that's cool though, right?
I was like, cool.
Yeah, that is
What
cool.
is this about? Like I felt like I couldn't live up to. I thought it was a cool thing, and doing.
Did you not feel sexy prior to that?
No, I mean I didn't have a real sense of any of that. No. Are
you aware of it now or no? Is it still kind of something that you're
far
uncomfortable with?
more aware of it? I'm not uncomfortable with it. I think it's cool, and I think it does it. I thought it was like this weird role that I got to play for a couple of years.
You're a great character actor playing someone attractive. When you take off your mask.
No, I'm just saying, like, it was just like between Baywatch and True Detective, it was just like very like they were, it was just, that was what I was known for.
Totally. Is there something in your career that's coming next that you're wanting to make a transition away from those kind of things?
It's not that I'm actively trying to make a transition away. I'm really grateful to be working. I think if I can work in that, if I can play the like Baywatch role, I mean, that's great for
It's fun.
me. It's fun.
It's fun
I
as
think
shit.
it's cool. I have just naturally started to do different kinds of stuff. There's a movie coming out called We Have Always Lived in the Castle that I did.
These
where
are very,
I play
very ominous titles of the films that you're doing.
It's Shirley
Can
Jackson.
you keep a secret?
Yeah.
Do you live in a castle?
Yeah.
The
I'm
gnome
entering
runs underneath the bridge. I don't know, what's the next crazy long titled film?
Right. The ominous portion.
Yeah,
of
that's
my
cool
career.
though. What is this? You said Percy Jackson?
No, Percy Jackson was the first big film I did. No.
Oh.
We Have Always Lived in the Castle is this movie that's coming out that where I'm like, it's more of a character. It's just, I think, a natural transition. Like, I want to do more. I want to do different kinds of stuff.
Totally.
So that's what every actor says that.
What's your dream gig? Hosting the Tonight Show is what you say. That's interesting. I wouldn't have picked you for that.
My dream gig, I don't know. I don't think I could do one thing. Like, one reason why I've been terrified of television, of network TV. It's not even like, network TV is so great because it's consistency. You're in one place, you get paid well, and you know you have a job year after year. It terrifies me because I'm terrified of doing one thing.
Right. The monotony might get to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is quite difficult, actually.
Like, my dream situation is what I'm doing now, is just jumping around
Film
from
to film
place
to
to
film to
place.
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different thing to different
Now,
thing.
do you take time to do indie shit, or do you mainly focus on doing studio pictures?
I've been doing more independent films recently.
Lately, right? Because
Yeah.
you have done a lot of studio films.
Yeah, I basically exclusively jumped into studio films.
That's cool, though.
Without even doing. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I got very lucky. I've had a weird trajectory.
Yeah, we've all been saying that. It's very weird.
Very weird.
Well, there's no one way. I guess there's no one way to do it, right? So many people
No.
go from indie to studio and then maybe back to indie. I feel like that's a natural thing that I see often, is like a lot of actors will start something small and then they'll get a big film, or an indie blew up and then
Right.
they get big films, and then somewhere in their career they're like, I kind of want to do indie again.
Yeah.
Because indies are so cool. I mean, I think the reason that actors like them, the reason that like I've enjoyed doing the ones that I've done, is because they're so much more personable. They feel more like, it feels like there's more love there. Now, granted, the money is way worse. The schedules are fucking insane. Nobody's pampering you. You know what I mean? You get pampered, and you feel great when you do big shit because
Right.
they treat you so well.
Right.
So you sacrifice all that stuff to kind of feel more low to the ground, though. There is something nice about, that's what I do for a living. Like, comedy's so dirt low to the ground that that's why I think a lot of comics have a tough time, if they do act, transferring into studio shit, because it's kind of tidy and tightened up, and studio comedies aren't really loose anymore.
No.
So that's really hard. Like, when's the last time you saw an award show that had the comedy category and actually awarded a comedy?
I know, it's true.
Yeah, they're like, it's like fucking when The Martian won. Like, wasn't The Martian it was a
Yeah, and then
comedy
The
fantasy? or something?
Tourist, they grouped as a comedy.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I think that studio films, and there's something great about like the corporateness of it, because
Sure.
if you work on enough indies and there people running it don't know what they're doing, then
Mm-hmm.
you can really you're like, God, can we get a lawyer or an
Can
accountant?
we get a bottle
or-
of water would be nice?
Can we get someone over
Yeah.
here to sort of like monitor what's going on? But then on the flip side, a studio film can be so controlled and
Yeah.
so lawyered up and so like having so much that I can imagine for a comedian who just wants to go off and
Have fun.
that's way too controlled.
Well, I think comedians' biggest beef is like, the script is one way, and this is something I'm going to ask you, and I want to pull something tiny out of you like this, but like,
Yeah.
this isn't a negative thing,
Yeah.
right? So I'll preface that. But occasionally you'll read something, and then when it's shooting script, it's so much different that you're a little let down.
Oh, sure.
Like, have you read a script that was so good that when you shot it, not that it wasn't good, it was just so different that you were like, man, I really like this iteration instead of the change?
It hasn't been like that. It's been more. Yeah, I mean, in its execution, I've had. I think that in its execution on a big film, and I've had films. I mean, I know Baywatch was like this, and so was Percy Jackson. some of the bigger films, you get new pages in like
Sure.
every single
change every day, right.
And sometimes they'll make a decision like, we need to change the last third of this entire film. And they'll decide that during shooting. So then you have a bunch of people just panicking, trying to figure out, why did we do this change? How do we hire these people? And they're trying to put something together that hasn't really been thought through. We're in the middle of production. Everyone's exhausted. You have a bunch of people in LA, and we're wherever we are, New Orleans. And you just feel like you don't really even know what it is you're shooting. You're just sort of a pawn. You're a prop, an expensive prop on this set. And that's fine. That's your job. I mean, I'm pretty like, you know, as an actor, it's your job you're hired to perform a task,
whether
like
you like
anyone
it or
else,
not.
whether you like it or not. Like, unfortunately, you're a bit at the mercy of the people in charge. And I think that I've been getting producer credits on a couple of my recent films, which allows me a little bit more control and a little more insight into how things. But really, no one really listens to you as an actor. I mean, I think they'll placate you, and it depends what position of power you're on a set. But the movie I'm referring to specifically, where it was like we changed the last third of the entire film, and you're just like, okay, like, here I go, like, there's nothing I can say, or, you know.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Or was it like painstaking to get through the end of it?
No, I enjoy. Look, I again, I really have I am so grateful to be a working actress that I pretty much will. Lately, I really stand up for things. If I see people doing things that not treating people with respect, or not being professional, or really just not doing the right thing.
Do you see that often?
I've seen it a couple of times where you're just like, I think that we're forgetting that this is an office.
Right.
Like, it's all fun and games because we're making a movie, and that's, oh my God, we're making a movie, and we're all very excited, but we don't know what this is. A business. There's a lot of money put into this. It's not all fun and games.
Sure.
Like, you can't just sort of like piecemeal things together without really following the rules. You can do that a little bit as long as everyone's on board, but sometimes you see like a little bit of, this is on more independent films.
I mean, well, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Indie films are kind of just,
yeah.
you know, I showed up, you show up to an indie film, sometimes you're like, hey, is there an AD here that I can talk to? And they're like, no,
we haven't seen him in a couple days.
We don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
You're like, where am I supposed to go? And they're like, you can hang out in the kitchen if you want for an hour and a half.
I mean, but that's one thing that happens.
Oh, it's
like, that's
fun.
fine.
I
Like,
think that's
all
kind of
right,
fun. Yeah.
But I'm
it.
talking about like when people are just like, as long as people sometimes don't treat each other with respect. And
well, that's
just
a common theme in our business.
Right. So, but you know, I just sort of go along for the ride. You gotta if you try to control anything in this business, it's not gonna happen.
The only thing I think you can control is when you make your own product, and if it's all independently you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, this is great. Nobody can tell me shit. I
Right.
can do whatever I want. I can speak to who I want.
Yeah.
I get interesting people that I want to get great stories out of and talk about their lives and their career. And like, I don't have to worry about someone going, you know what we need to talk about with them? Like, I love that that doesn't
Right.
exist for me. But
Right.
that is kind of why comics, I think, do podcasts. I think that's why that's like a thing now, because there needs to be more outlets for artists, creators, actors, musicians, whatever, to talk shit or speak their truth or talk about nothing at all. And it's still kind of nice, instead of like, you really are kind of worried whenever you work on a job. Like, I did a sitcom for ABC, and I remember them talking to us pretty diligently about making sure our Twitter was, and this is years ago, this is before how angry everybody is now about everything. This is prior to Kevin Hart's Twitter. But I mean, like, they were just like, you know, checking your feed, and they wanted to make sure that you weren't saying anything that the mouse wouldn't like, you know. And it was like,
Right.
It's so strange, because you're like, I am who I am. But if you are going to separate the person and the artist, you're paying me when I'm doing your television show to be that thing. But when I'm done and it's my life and my world, I should be able to do what I want within reason. I'm not going to say, like, you know, I'm not going to start hate groups online. But I mean, you know, you should be able to kind of be who you are. And I think there's a weird restrictive nature of the business that likes to keep you in this thing that's like, you know, you still are kind of a representation of Universal Studios, so you have to kind of do that. It's a little strange, right?
Right.
And only when you're old and you're living in Vegas or Palm Springs, and the guy from Variety comes out to interview you, and you smoking a cigarette. I can see you now on your patio, and you're angry as shit. And you're talking shit about all the actors
And
that you were.
I could say everything. I
Yeah.
could say all the secrets.
Like, you know who was a real bitch? You just go off on tangents about who you hate.
You know what film I hated the most?
Yeah. I'll tell you.
You know who I fucked one time?
I do love that when like old actors just let it all
Yeah,
out.
it's like, oh yeah, I was fucking him. I denied it at the time, but yeah.
Who was talking about when Richard Pryor was high, he blew someone or someone blew him. Oh my God, why can't I think about this? Why my
I
brain
don't
is
actually know this
somebody
story.
somebody that just died, and he was like
yeah,
Richard Pryor's like ex-wife like confirmed it. It was like, yeah, he was doing all sorts of fucked up shit. He was on coke. He was on meth.
Yeah.
He was like fucked up.
It
out of his
all
head.
comes out eventually.
Yeah, we were all fucking him.
You're like,
It was a gangbang.
You wish you could just tell those stories now, but you can't.
You could.
You could.
I guess it's at the risk of your future work. You might get you might get shoehorned into shit that you don't like.
Sure.
Maybe. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's like let's talk about it. So we go to this deep dive about nasty shit you don't want aired. Can we edit out all this? No, we have to leave all of it in. So you weren't thrust into it by anybody but yourself, which is kind of interesting because I always think about that. If you have kids, you don't have kids.
I don't have kids.
If you have kids, who I don't know. If you do have kids, if they said, I want to be in the business, what would you?
Oh my God. I'd be like, no. I mean,
you'd say no?
I'm not sure. I would allow them to look. I think it would have to be approached the right way. I actually think weirdly it was approached for me the right way because I did ultimately make the decision myself.
Your parents loved the arts though. You were influenced by the arts when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, I was definitely influenced by the arts, but I actually think it's more of like it was just something I was drawn to. I think emotionally, I think it was like cathartic.
Sure.
I think it just was something that I was drawn to for, I love storytelling and all of that and reading, and it just was something that I genuinely wanted to do, and I could have done anything. I really did have every opportunity on the planet to do.
White privilege, man.
It's
the best.
yeah, I mean, I really did have a ton of opportunities.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, it's great. But acting is what
you chose. But I guess I just mean like you were surrounded by art and your parents are supportive of the arts. Like if they took you to Broadway as a kid and you saw that stuff, like that's what I mean. Like when you have a kid, and undoubtedly he or she will be influenced if you do have children around your life and your world. Yeah. So they'll go, they'll know that that's a part of your life. It's a better chance than not that they'll be into it. Like
it's just
for me,
such a tough life.
Well, for me, it's like the way I see it, because I was on the outside, like, dude, my parents, the arts, like, no, like going to see a movie was like the arts for my family. So like, like my dad's favorite sitcom was Andy Griffith. That's like all I knew. You know what I mean? Like that. My dad still watches westerns, and he like won't listen to music, after 1964. So like, there's just something about like I never was introduced to that world. Actually, I mean, until my mom took me to see Phantom of the Opera, and then I was like, I love this stuff.
Yeah,
I had a poster of Andrew Lloyd Webber above my bed. You want to talk about a dork? You want to talk about dork shit?
That's great.
I had an Andrew Lloyd Webber fucking Phantom of the Opera poster.
That's fantastic.
Then I got obsessed with, which is funny because I don't like musicals.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate them.
Really?
I know. Actors hate to hear that. I fucking hate musicals.
I love musicals.
Most people do. Most actors love musicals.
Yeah.
I loathe them.
Okay.
But Phantom struck such a chord because it was so dark.
Yeah.
And I love dark shit. So Phantom to me it's Batman basically. It's like a different iteration of Batman, different story, but I mean it's this kind of dark hero, sexy, evil, also good thing that coexists, and I really love that.
How do you feel about Les Mis? Oh,
everybody loves Les Mis. I liked it.
Yeah. You liked it.
Yeah,
so
I did.
Okay.
But I think like the way people like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that I'm a contrarian and it bothers me.
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oh, I loved it," it's like, okay,
enough.
Sure, it was fine. Like Hamilton, I've talked about this before. I don't give a fuck about Hamilton.
I haven't seen Hamilton.
I hate spoken word. I hate spoken word, and I know that that's bigger than spoken word. But like, I don't need to hear about a man and a plant and the seat and the wall. It's so fucking annoying to me. I hate it.
Well, hey.
And I'm also doing that because so many
decision.
people loved it.
Yeah.
So many people, Hamilton, oh my God, the tickets are so hard to get. It's like, you know, when there's a long line for a cheeseburger place and you're like, you know, there's another good cheeseburger down the street.
Right.
What the fuck is so good about that cheeseburger?
Yeah, it's mob mentality.
I hate that. That's
but
maybe
I
what
think
it is.
Hamilton might be just objectively good.
Maybe. Says who?
All right.
All the
I mean,
critics?
everybody.
Yes. Every human ever loves it.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I have a little bit of the same thing. I mean, that happened to me with Breaking Bad. By the time everyone was like, oh my God, you have to see it.
Sure.
Like I had already, it was too many seasons in and I was just so irritated from hearing everyone being like, you haven't seen it?
Doesn't that annoy you when someone does that?
Yeah.
You haven't seen
Oh my
Stranger
God.
Things? Alex, you're an idiot.
How can you be an actress?
They get so mad at you for not seeing shit.
What do you mean you haven't seen all the Oscar movies?
Please.
You're an actress. This is your job.
Half of the fucking half of the movies that were just up for nomination now, I didn't know any of those fucking films. Like the Chuck Lorre film. What was
Yeah.
that called? The Kaninsky Method?
Oh, I don't know.
I never saw that in my fucking
I know.
life.
I've been bouncing around New York City. I
I
haven't
never
had
heard
time.
of that. Kaminsky
Now I'm back
Method.
in LA and I'm hearing about all the movies and
I know, but I'm bad. I don't watch any of that shit either. But that is annoying when someone says, "What? How about this? Let's name what's the one that you haven't seen that culturally people get really angry at you about, movie or TV show."
Okay, well, The Godfather was one for a long time, but I just saw The Godfather.
That
2
is kind of
weeks
annoying
ago.
because that's such a good movie.
Yeah, well, now I understand. That's actually the one where I'm like, okay, everyone, I get it. I'm sorry.
1, 2, and 3.
I did. Well, I stopped in the middle of 3. I mean, what
3
happened?
3's very, very bad.
Oh my God. But it was still, I looked it up, it was still nominated for Best Picture. I mean,
Oh yeah, because of the lineage. You know what I mean? It's
oh
like,
my God.
but 2 wasn't as bad as people talk about. I'm sick of people
No,
talking
2
shit
is
about
great.
2. A lot of people hate on 2
it's
for some
different.
reason.
You can tell that he had a little bit, he was more confident.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like you can tell it's all emotional. Like the first one is so, and then the second one you're like, he's like, fuck yeah, he's got a little swagger.
Well, sometimes you get
Francis Ford Coppola was like
riding pretty
fuck
high on himself.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the film is fucking amazing.
What TV series do people get mad about? Breaking Bad was the one.
Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones.
Hey, you know who's never seen an episode of Game of Thrones?
You?
Yeah.
Oh,
No way.
Yes.
Never gonna
You're
watch
the
it.
same as me.
I'm never gonna watch it.
Yes. I mean,
I'm never gonna watch that
I have
fucking
friends
thing.
on Game of Thrones. I've actually seen one episode, but it's obviously a great show, but it's just
Maybe.
one of these things. I'm just irritated.
It annoys me. It annoys me.
I'm just like it's like my rebellious side. Everyone's
me
like,
too.
we love Game of Thrones, and my dog is named after one of the characters, and I'm dressing up
so
as
weird.
and oh my God, the Red Wedding. Oh my God.
I don't know any of these terms. That's what's so fun. All I know is there's incest in it.
That's all you know?
I mean, I know dragons shit. I know who the
They
Jon
basic-
Snow. I know who the
there's
names
a lot
are.
of like sex stuff and sex stuff. So old.
Mom,
Exactly.
Is it sex
There's
stuff
a
in
lot
this
of
movie?
sex stuff in this show. I don't think you guys should be watching it.
isn't that funny though? You find out your parents are freakier than you thought though. When you're a kid, like sharing, kind of talking about sexual stuff or whatever, and then you get older and you find out like they're just you. They just were more quiet about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're more private, I guess you should say.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, my parents are divorced, and my mom's like wanting to start dating. And the other day she was like, I don't know. I mean, my mom's 68. Because she's going to kill me but whatever.
Go for
she's
it.
She's going to kill me.
So
My
what?
poor mom, she's like, I don't know. Like, I need to start dating, but like, I just can't imagine having sex with a 70-year-old man.
And you're like, me neither, Mom. That sounds gross.
You know, it's like, wow, it's like she's starting to date in her late 60s.
When did they
and
get a
it's like-
divorce?
A couple years ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge.
Exactly.
My parents got divorced before I was 1, so the pain didn't hit me. Like friends that I have that got divorced when they were like 7.
Yeah.
And they're like ruined forever.
Yeah.
Like I have those friends. But for me, my parents split I think right before I was 1 year old. So it doesn't have the
That's
same
great.
thing for me.
I think that I'm a big believer in divorce. I mean, I think
Nice.
if you get married and it's not working out, get divorced.
Yeah,
There's
cut it
no
off.
reason to stay. I think that's,
How long were they married for?
oh God, a long time.
Did they did they write their own divorce papers? They're lawyers?
No.
It'd be so great if they were divorce attorneys, both of them.
No, they're not both divorce attorneys. But I think that, you know, getting divorced when you see that the relationship's over is better for the kids.
Well, yeah. But it also helps when the kids are older, right? Like you're older now.
Yeah.
It's easier than, I think it is hard. Like I have a buddy that's getting divorced right now and his kids are 9 and 12.
Yeah.
And that fucking
That's
sucks.
hard for the kids, yeah.
I mean, the 12-year-old's a boy, so like, he'll take it out on football or something,
Right.
But the 9-year-old girl, it's just a weird, awkward, unfortunate time. I think for her, like,
Well, it'll just set her up for, years of dating terrible men. And
she's already pregnant. She's already made some bad mistakes.
She's now going to repeat her mistakes over and over and over.
Don't we all?
No, I think kids go through tough stuff either way. I mean,
Yeah.
it is tough, but like you're going to be bullied or you're going to get heartbroken. You're going to
I hope so.
you're going to have all kinds of stuff happen to you. It's all going to be tough. It's all going to be hard, and we're all going to turn out all right, or we won't. Like, I mean,
Or we won't. Or we won't. And then fucking sorry. I don't know.
I mean, that's a little bit like, I just think kids go through all kinds of tough stuff.
Yeah.
And
And they just have to
it's
deal with
better to get divorced than to be fighting constantly. That's tough too.
it. That's way worse.
Yeah.
But most of the time, secrets are kept.
secrets.
Like,
Can you keep a secret?
I know a crazy big Can You Keep a Secret coming out next fall. No.
That's right. We'll just keep.
It sounds like a TV show. Can You Keep a Secret? Like a game
Well,
show,
it's-
like Steve Harvey.
It does. Yeah.
Can you keep a secret? I can just hear Steve Harvey going into Can You Keep a Secret. He tells one person in the audience, and they have to see if they can keep it for the whole show without telling anybody, and they win a certain amount of money.
But it's like such a good secret.
Yeah, it's so they
Oh,
have
God, I have
to
to tell somebody.
Yeah. In fact, part of the deal is you have to tell one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make that show. We'll sell that show. Can You Keep a Secret?
Great. We'll call Steve Harvey.
You can't get a hold of him. He's very
can't?
busy. Him and The Rock are the two busiest people in the world. Steve Harvey does like 9 TV shows.
You're right. He is very busy. Him
There's
and
like
Ryan Seacrest.
Him, Seacrest, The Rock, Oprah, Ellen. There's like
Oprah's
this,
chilled out though, I feel.
only publicly, but you got to know behind closed doors she's doing 1,000
You're
things.
right. Yeah.
She's a
you're
machine.
Right. You're right.
Like, who makes a magazine and puts themselves on every cover has time to take that many pics? That's an insane amount of photos. She's on every cover.
Well, do you think they just kept changing shirts and just did one photo
No,
shoot?
because sometimes they're in the garden. I see when I'm at the grocery store. Sometimes they're like, she's in a garden. Sometimes she's like on a boat. Sometimes she's at like on a rooftop of a house. Like, it's all different places.
Right.
Maybe they just helicopter her around.
Just taking photos of her all day long.
Yeah, they just.
That's literally, she's like, all right, it's time for my 9 a.m. photograph.
And I do this for 3 hours, and then finally I get to go take a bath overlooking Montecito or whatever,
That's
wherever
right.
heaven that she lives.
Ugh.
Wouldn't it be nice
It would be nice to have that kind of money.
to go away?
Yes.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Because I like
Just
LA,
retire.
but I just would like to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Santa Barbara to me is kind of one of those places where I think I might retire.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's
close enough,
You
but
can
far
get
enough.
like a little farm. You can get like some pigs and some goats and some chickens.
Pigs, goats, chickens.
A little cow.
I'd get one cow.
You can get one cow.
Can't get more than one.
No.
And what about a horse?
Then they team up.
Did you grow up riding horses?
No.
No.
No. My mom would never
You have like
have
porcelain
allowed that.
skin, and porcelain skin girls always seem like they rode horses. When I was a kid, like every porcelain skin girl I knew rode horses.
My sister actually rode horses.
Does she look like you?
Yeah.
Does she have smooth white
She
skin?
has smooth porcelain skin.
Horse girl. Every girl in school that I knew that was like pretty and had porcelain skin, I was like, she rides a horse.
Yeah. No, my mom was like way too scared to allow me to ride a horse, I think.
Smart. That's an insane idea to get on that animal.
Yeah, she didn't want her kid on a horse.
When I see cops on horses, I'm like, we have cars.
Yeah.
Why do we still do that?
Yeah, I mean, horses are like, let them go run around in the fields.
Yeah, I never understood that. I'm not a big animal rights activist. I mean, I'm not obviously the other way, but like, something about the horse thing bothers me so much when I see people on horses. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing on that thing?
I feel like it just adds an extra like hurdle to actually stopping crime. Like
For a
you have
cop,
to like
yeah.
you have to make sure your horse is calm. You have to get off the horse.
Also,
Make sure
what
the
if-
horse is not going to run away. That everything's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I make one cut and the horse can't keep
right?
up.
Like you have to like worry about the horse when you're actually trying to keep
crime.
keep
at
your
bay.
city keep crime at bay, keep your city safe.
That's what I'm going to write us. I'll write us a cop horses on cop film. Will you do that with me?
And then the lead character, the cop, he like they assign him his horse, but his horse is like not that well behaved, and he's
Right.
like, guys, I can't.
I see it now.
I need a different horse, and they're like, that's your horse, officer.
That's Officer Smith.
And he's
That's
like,
your horse.
oh
Deal
God.
with it.
And then it's just him and this horse going
Yeah.
on their shenanigans, and the horse is constantly getting him into trouble.
I love this. You're a straight-laced cop. Your horse has wackadoo nuts.
it's putting the cop buddy comedy on its head by making one of them a horse.
Yeah. I love that you keep looking. He's making sure we're okay.
Okay.
He has to do that. It's for legal reasons.
Oh, okay. He keeps. There's a guy you guys don't see that's like
He's making sure-
constantly
yeah.
coming to. Every time he comes in, I'm like, "Is it over now?" Is he telling me
No,
we have
he
to
doesn't.
stop?
No.
He's like signaling we have
He
to
doesn't know.
stop.
I control it.
Got
He's
it.
making sure the camera's still good.
Got it.
Which is so funny though. People who do that every time he comes to the door and they're like, he like pokes his
Yes.
cute little head. You know.
Yeah.
He's very cute though. He's very sweet.
Very cute.
He's foldable. You know, I carry him with me.
That's
I fold him
nice.
in half and I can throw him right on my back.
That's great.
186 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people give you weird looks when you walk around like that?
They shouldn't.
No.
This is America.
That's right.
I should be able to do whatever I want. If I'm going to carry a nice
If I'm going to carry a
young
grown man on my back,
yeah, I should be able to,
people
right?
better not judge me for it.
But they will, but they shouldn't. They will, but they should not do that.
That's
you know?
right.
No more judgment. Let's say it like that. So let's talk about this. You voted for Trump, and many people know that. Did you see this picture of fucking Trump feeding the Clemson football team? Do you know anything about this?
No, I don't.
It's hilarious. So Trump fed the Clemson national champion football, college football team. He had him over at the White House to have junk food. He literally bought like 1,000 cheeseburgers, 900 fries.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I saw a New Yorker cartoon making fun of this, and I didn't understand the cartoon.
The New Yorker making fun of him?
It was a. That's right. Yeah, I mean, wow. We can talk politics. Let me see.
No, we don't need to.
What do I even say?
We don't need to. I just think it's crazy that he fed all these kids shit food, and you're like,
I mean, I think what's going on in politics is just so remarkable to me. I mean, it's like we're all becoming desensitized to nonsense, which I
Yeah.
think can be good in some ways, but
Kind of.
like a little bit too much. I mean, the desensitizing of like
of serious
of
shit.
the people. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I it's so baffling to me, and it's that I'm like I'm rendered speechless on a daily basis.
You should be. And nowadays too, especially in like in our game, in our business, is like nobody really wants to talk about it. People like to talk shit online, but nobody really wants to talk about it. But I think it's just like, it's so, the whole thing is so fucked up. Like Twitter has become this political pundit space where like people used to think we're like just fun or funny or cool are now like on this rant all the time about Trump and all this shit. And you're like, man, I wish Twitter was fun. Twitter used to be like so fun. And now every time I open it up, it's so sad. Like everything is like global warming, shit about Trump, shit about politics, something negative that's going on. I'm just like, oh my God.
I mean, it's remarkable how much the world's changed in 10 years. And when we just think about how we're all interacting and obsessing and the way that we socially interact. And like, I have all kinds of thoughts on, how phones are, really fucking up our heads in ways that we really don't understand. And plenty of other people do too. And there's been plenty of articles written about it. But like just the constant communication we have and the constantly being available and being able to voice our opinions and discuss them immediately with other people. I'm not so sure that it's that healthy for us at a certain point. I feel myself shutting down or being really focused on, and I have all these relationships with people who I care about, but who I'm not seeing face to face. And
that's why I set this up, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I knew you wanted to say hi to me face to face.
Yes. It
You're
was
like,
time.
I really miss him. I really want to see him face to face.
But yeah, I mean, it can't be good to be on Twitter and just like obsessing over politics constantly.
It's
but
negative.
what else are we gonna do? I mean, the
it's
whole
fun.
thing is so
It's fun to get involved.
crazy.
It's fun to get involved though, because it's something to do. You know what I mean? It's something. It's like fills your day with shit. It's just water cooler talk that you didn't get from the news last night.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was the generation before us. It was just like what you saw on the news or read in the paper. That became water cooler talk. Now Twitter is water cooler talk. It's
Yeah.
like, what's the new conversation?
Right.
Let me skip sideways though. What I wanted to ask you about the Trump stuff is, what is your favorite fast food? Because he had all this cool fast food out. I want to know what your go-to is. What's your sneak?
I don't eat a lot of fast food.
Yeah, but you got to have one.
I like McDonald's chicken McNuggets, and I do like Jack in the Box. Although I'll be honest, I'm basing that off of one drunken meal I had 6 years ago.
Wow. Last time you had fast food was how long ago, do you think?
No, I had McDonald's. I went to Japan to shoot a film at the end of not 2018, 2017, which is now 2 years ago.
Nuts.
And like in adjusting to the food in Tokyo, I just didn't adjust
No?
well at first.
Oh, I love their food.
Yeah, no, the food is amazing. I just was working so much that like I was grabbing to like it just wasn't. So I just ate chicken nuggets like,
In Japan.
every night.
And they're cuter over there for some reason, the Japanese chicken nuggets. They're tinier.
They're better and they're better. they're just better.
They really are better.
Yeah.
I had fast food in Japan once because
Okay.
I was on the run.
Yes. What kind of food?
It was breakfast. It was like fast food breakfast.
Yeah.
Not like a traditional, not like a McDonald's, but it was like a fast food to go breakfast type of thing.
Right.
And it was terrible.
Well, that's what we had every day on set.
It was like
every day.
American fast food type of shit, and I was like, this is terrible.
Oh, the Japanese fast food stuff is like rice wrapped in seaweed and like a miso egg, yeah. And that's what I'd have for breakfast.
Nah.
And it would just be to sustain me.
See, I like when I was like I would just, if I could, I would wait to get noodles or sushi or hey, I love gyoza.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love gyoza. I went to this gyoza place. Dumplings, yeah. And they give you a bag with all sorts of fun stuff mixed in there, and then you put them in yourself and mix it yourself.
Oh, that's
and so it's so
fun.
cute, like walking around the street with your little bag of gyoza, and I was so
that's
happy.
so
I was like
nice.
a child. Yeah, it was so nice.
I never got to do that.
Oh, there's a couple of places that do it. I mean, a couple of places that do it that I knew when I was staying in Shinjuku.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shinjuku. Yeah, Shinjuku.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the train stop. Shinjuku, the way they say it.
That's right.
Yeah, and they had it right around the neighborhood, and it was beer loves gyoza, and you would get a little bit of pint of beer, and then you'd get your little bag of gyoza and walk around in the street.
Next time I go.
Japan's the illest.
Oh my God, I love Japan.
I can't talk about it good enough. It's like of
No,
all the
I
places
love
I've
it.
been, that's the spot where I'm like.
I had
Yeah.
some magical times in Japan.
Did you go up north, or were you just in Tokyo?
I was in Tokyo only for this film, but I had been on vacation like a year prior, and I went to Osaka, Kyoto, and Hiroshima.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. That's
It's
awesome.
a great place.
Yeah, it is. It really, really cool. You know, it's an island. Can you believe that?
I know.
Isn't that nuts?
Yes. It's nuts.
I love when people say that to me when they give me something obvious, when they're like, it's an island. I'm like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course it's what do you mean?
Whoa.
Well, it's like out on its own. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that feel weird that you're like out in the middle of nowhere? You're like, not really. I mean, if I gotta go, I gotta go. Like I have that perspective now. I used to get scared of like traveling, and now someone's like, that's so remote. It's so like in the middle of isn't that crazy? I'm like, dude, if I go then, I guess I go. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'd rather die in Bali on vacation than hit by a car on La Brea. Like, fuck it.
Sure.
Like, if I'm going to go, like, I'd rather go in some weird exotic way. They're like, he died of a hurricane swept through Indonesia and he died. It's like, that's terrible, but also like, I don't know. He was out there doing his thing. That's kind of fun.
Right. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. It's good to be adventurous.
You don't want to die near home.
You don't want to be afraid.
Yeah.
You have to seize the day and go do things.
Exactly.
Even if there's the risk of death.
Yeah. I think it's risk of death is way more fun.
That's right.
I think it's
except for skydiving.
I'm not doing that.
I
shit.
don't. I don't
That's
have
foolish.
that much. That's foolish. That's a foolish decision.
Mm-hmm. Or squirrel suits. The squirrel suits. Have you seen people do that?
Yeah, it's the dumbest.
Just
I
begging
mean,
for
are
death.
you really enjoying flight that much?
It might be that good though. I just don't. I'll never know.
I would prefer to just watch. I get as much of a thrill watching 90 Day Fiance on the couch.
I just talked to someone about that for hours.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite things on earth.
Oh,
it's just so sad.
no one else likes it because they say it's too sad.
It's sad, but that's kind of why I like it.
I know. I think I'm a sick, twisted human being.
Same.
Everyone's like, I can't watch this. It's too sad.
I can.
And I'm like, oh, well, I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah. Well, I think there's only one couple that's like actually in love. The
Which
guy
one?
With a Russian girl who has the baby. They had a baby and he went
Oh,
back to-
I'm not. I haven't. I don't know
I
that.
don't want to blow up your
that
spot.
couple.
I'm sorry, I don't want to blow up your spot.
I know. I need to get caught up. I've been like watching YouTube videos of Colt and Larissa.
Yeah.
That looks disturbing.
The Vegas couple. Colt is Vegas. He lives with his mom.
Yeah, that's right.
Very, very sad.
But like on FISA was my jam for a while.
Totally.
I mean, come on FISA.
Come on.
I mean, come on.
Come on.
I mean, the two of you. It's just like
It's a great show. It's a great. I like.
for people who don't know, it's Americans who meet someone from a foreign country either online or while they're on vacation,
almost
and then they
always online.
right, almost always online, and then they bring them over for a 90-day fiance visa to America, and you know, it's like obviously the majority of the time these people are looking for, they want to become an American citizen.
Yeah.
But the American just is in complete denial.
See, I don't know if it's denial or if it's acceptance that this is their
Reality.
reality.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I get that. I've certainly done that in relationships before. I'm like, this is not great, but it's easier than
It'll do.
It'll do.
Yeah. Like what's the longest you've been in a relationship that you didn't want to be in?
Oh God, years.
You stayed years in something you didn't want to be in?
I was in a long-term relationship where I probably stayed 2 years longer than I wanted.
How long was it in total?
6.
6 years of 4 good and 2 sad?
Yeah.
That's a long fucking time to be sad.
Yeah. I didn't really know how to get out of it. And then I've done like a couple months here or there, but I'm always willing to give things a chance.
You give everybody a chance? Everyone
I'm
that comes
just-
knocking, you're like, come on in, we'll figure
Well,
it
I
out.
think it's partially my career. It's like, you know, sometimes I'll be like, I don't know that this is going to work out. Like,
Right.
am I going to have children at any point? And then, you know, you go away for 3 months to do a film. You're like, I can't deal with this right now.
Right. Do you want to have kids? Is that something on your docket?
Yeah, I would like to have kids. I think it would have to be with the right person in the right situation.
See, I think it should be with the wrong person.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
could just like go get pregnant and just sort of
Do
figure
it.
it out. But
Do it.
I'm not sure that
Do
that's, I'm
it.
not
Just
sure.
fucking wing it.
Just wing it.
It's just
see
a
what
life.
happens.
It's just a life. No,
Yeah.
you do want to eventually though, right?
I would like to, yes.
Would there ever be a scenario where you could meet a guy in 90 days and fall in love with him? Like that show. Do you really think that could happen? Could you be swept off your feet?
Sure, I could fall in love in 90 days, but that doesn't mean that, you know, that's a long-term,
Right.
you know, long-term viability. You got to go through some tough stuff together.
You have to go through shit first.
You have to go through shit together. You have to get through stuff. You have to get to really know each other. You have to like really like see your own resiliency, theirs. Like, I think men sometimes get freaked out if something bad happens, but I like bad. I mean, you know, it's like as long as no one's like throwing shit against the wall or screaming at each other, which I don't believe in. I think that if there's a disagreement or like, especially with long distance, which I deal with a lot, like an argument or a little bit of stress, like if you can get through that, like I think you come out on the other side better.
Yeah.
What's
the shortest relationship you've been in?
I've dated people for a couple months, you
Nothing-
know,
what-
but then it's not really a relationship.
What about
I
like
guess
a week? Has there been a guy that you had did you have like a fling for a week?
For a week.
And then you never talked to him ever again?
No, I mean, I've dated people for like twice, you know.
Yeah. But never one of those like I romanticize about those moments that people have.
My very romantic, intense encounters have usually, we've been like, all right, let's do this. It's gonna work out. We're so in love,
And it didn't.
Well, then you see that there's real problems. Like
Totally.
you see, like, okay, we might be in love and have all of that chemistry and really get along, but it's like, is this really practical?
No.
No.
Yeah, probably not. Long distance is your typical thing though.
Long distance. Yeah.
Are you in a long distance now?
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, I'm dating now, but I don't have a boyfriend. But the long distance just makes it hard to build.
Totally.
And it makes it hard to, when there is a problem, to really deal with it head on. And I think, you know, at least the men that I, for whatever reason, choose to date, there's like the long distance thing does not suit.
Yeah.
I don't know that it suits anybody though.
No, I don't think I don't think it does. I mean, I'm currently I'm married to a woman that lives in Alaska and I never see her. So it's kind of working out.
Is that true?
No.
That's not true. No,
Nope.
I didn't think
Nope.
that was
Does
true.
not live in Alaska. That's insane.
Yeah, that would be a crazy thing.
Yeah, no, my wife lives in Russia, and I see her once every 9 years.
Look,
and it's been good.
nice that you guys are so committed to each other.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, to be honest with you.
For me, I kind of like the idea of like, let's just get married, and then the long distance is part of our lives. Let's just sort of like not make it a thing.
Yeah, if you can.
If you can.
That's
but
a hard
it
thing to do.
It's always
Yeah, you rely on
difficult.
each other too much.
Yeah.
But you're an independent woman, and it's 2019. You're going to do whatever you want.
Becoming less independent with every year.
Good. Let's keep
When I
someone near
was
you at all
younger, I
times.
was like, I'm going to be this independent woman. I'm going to make my own money.
Uh-huh.
I don't need anybody. I'm going to be successful on my own. That's the only way to survive as a woman in this world of patriarchy where men are all terrible. Is
Yeah.
you have to pull yourself up, and
Yeah.
I'm not taking money or anything from anybody. And now I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah, it'd be
You know,
nice to get
like,
some help.
Yeah, I'd like to get some help. I would like some financial and emotional assistance.
Yeah.
Like I've done it on my own now. I've proven that to myself, and now I'm prepared to have somebody just come and help me with everything.
Turns out it's nice to have somebody.
That's correct.
Well, that's good. We're you know what? This is actually a dating, not a live dating video. We're taking requests now, so we'll send you all the emails.
DM me.
Yeah. Open that door of nonsense.
Oh no.
Yeah, you said it. Do you want to plug anything right now? We're gonna wrap up, sadly, but do you want to plug anything that you have coming out that you want people to watch?
I don't have anything to plug that's coming out immediately. Later this year, I have a couple films coming out.
Cool.
I think everyone should keep track of them. We Have Always Lived in the Castle is excellent.
We Have Always Lived in the Castle.
We Have Always Lived in the Castle, based on a Shirley Jackson novel, which I also
Awesome.
recommend.
Read.
We Summon the Darkness is a film that will come out. And Can You Keep a Secret? All very ominous.
Summon the Darkness.
All very ominous titles.
It's very ominous. Well, I love it. I love it. I'm going to see them. I'll see all three of them
Great.
in a row. I'll buy one ticket though, and I'm going to movie hop.
How dare you?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Movie fraud.
I movie hop. That's what no, not anymore, sadly. But when I was a kid, my parents and I would movie hop.
Yeah.
That's like one of the coolest things in the world to do with mom and dad.
No, I think that yeah.
Movie hop, baby.
I've never done that with my parents.
Yeah,
I'm
my
gonna
parents
do
are
it with
rebels.
my children
Yeah, you should.
when I go out and get knocked up on my own independently.
Yeah. With a guy that you'll never talk to ever
That's
again.
right.
That's what we're learning.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you so
Great.
much. I'm glad you came.
Thank you
Seriously,
for
this
having
is
me.
awesome. For me, go this weekend. I'm in San Antonio. Go see me in San Antonio. Go to andrewsantino.com for all that jazz. Alex Daddario at Alexandra Daddario on Twitter and all that shit.
On Twitter, it's AA Daddario.
AA Daddario, and on Instagram,
It's
you're
Alexandra Daddario.
yeah. Don't DM her. Get the fuck out of here with that nasty.
DM me.
Oh boy.
But make sure you're nice. Be a gentleman.
Good luck.
Whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You